Now, where did I put that? There's lots of tins. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's my little compressor. Oh, soldering. Yeah. Okay, somewhere here. Glues and drill bits. No, I don't see any there. They're just odds and sods in there. Okay. Oh, blades. Yeah, always useful. Oh, maybe a bottom drawer. Oh, there we go. There's my mojo. I'm just going to let that out and we're going to be back in the workshop. Yay! Okay, usual mess. We need in the workshop anyway, as you can see. It's not that I've not been doing nothing, but I just haven't been doing much. We got to find Bob. Hang on a second. Let's go get Bob. Have you been standing in the same spot since last year, Bob? Why did you only just get here? Oh, yeah, Mrs. Downs, full English. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, okay. As you can see, Rosie and Dottie are on the workbench for a little bit of an upgrade. We're going to get to that. And yeah, Molly, we're still there. We're still trying Molly. Go to the last video. That'll give you what Molly is all about. And here we are, yeah, a year later. And we've got a few little things that we've been trying to do. So I found another source for my batteries. These are little 11 volt batteries. These are now actually available quite easily for drones. So actually the prices come down on them and easy to get. And yep, I finally did spend some money and I bought two of the Blue Nami, and I'm going to show you what the number is. Blue 2200. Now these are definitely not my price range. This is a bit of a push the boat out for me, but I really wanted to get on with Molly, and I realized what was stopping me was I really didn't know how this shunting wagon, again, see last video, was going to work out and how I could fit. I remember the old blue rail boards which I'd bought and a sound cube which I don't happen to have here into either the Stromboli kit. You can see I drilled the barrel out with a hope that I might be able to get the chip in there, and actually, yeah, looking it, yeah, it might fit actually, but I'm not going to go that route. I'm still going to go with the shunting wagon, and we're going to just experiment a few things. I've already done a little bit of wiring. You can see the blue chip, even though upside down. Blue Nami chip is a lot smaller than the board, so I've now got the equivalent of a 9 volt battery size, a Blue Nami chip, and that's allowed me to go with a speaker which I've actually put underneath. This is sort of temporary, needs a sound box around it or some sort of surround to give it a bit more oomph. But that is definitely the beginnings of the shunting wagon that I was doing last year. This is almost ready for testing. I'm gonna just mess around with a little bit more wiring and stuff and make sure everything's clean and tidy, and then we'll go for a test. So, genuine first real track test. Power's on. You can hear the sound. There's no magnet read switch yet. So we're in our Blue Nami app. Blue Nami app. We'll connect Morley. Connect. Should come up. And go into our standard and shut. Now I noticed it's done this this whistling on my light. If I turn my light off, I lose that whistling. We've programmed a couple of sounds in already. We've changed the sound, so we've got a bit of an English. But, well, let's see, forward. Oh, well, that bit works. And we'll go backwards. Oh, that's pretty good. I like that. Go forward again. Nice and slow. Yeah. Pretty good. Liking that so far. Bit more testing of TP Ashwood. Mainly Molly here. So that all went reasonably well. One point I had a chain, my usual chain in here, as you can see, somehow, yeah. Ended up putting a drawbar in there instead, which I think is going to be a better idea. It has done a full circuit round, although I think the drawbar is a little short because it catches the buffers. One of the things I did on my wiring was that I put some little plugins so that things could separate, not very easily though. So, oh, and I put a switch in it as well, so it actually just powers up on its own. There you go. But I'll get a reed switch for that. So I can get on with building, let's bring it back into view, this shunting truck a little bit. So, yep, wood deck, wood toolbox. I'll make everything fit in and out so that I can still take things apart. But then bringing Molly back into the scene. I went around with my trusty wheel gauge as well because it did have a couple of issues. Molly needs to go back together, so the boiler, chimney, etc. Most of this stuff is just blue tacked in place. I got my firebox for the back. That's sort of just goes in the back, and then this sort of water container thing that I was going to do at the front. But that's all stayed off for the time being, because I'm going to try and work out how to put an extra set of wheels in the back, which is what I wanted to do before. And that's probably going to be just to give it a, you know, a little bit of extra something. So that's next. We'll see if we can make those float around. So a day or so away, I've built started building my shunting wagon and tried to put some of the electrics in as I was showing. So there's a little typical workbench. Let me have a quick clean up first, and we'll do a better video. Okay, we can see what's going on now. I wish I could find my backdrop. Anyway, so I've continued building the shunter's wagon, and I built this little box, which I'm going to just pull this off, and opening little lid. As you can see inside, it's let me just untape that. Well, as you can see, this wasn't rehearsed. So I built this little box, a couple of those doll's house hinges that you can buy, and the idea is the magnet's going to sit on the box to run the relay. I'm going to paint this next. Little bit of detail. I'm going to do some pins like before, but the decoder, the battery, and most of the wiring all fits in that box now. I'm just going to pause there for a second and I'll show you the truck. So if I undo the little drawbar here, okay, I've got a little socket there to connect the power across. At the moment I've ordered some 6 pins as well. Anyway, so this is the little shunting truck. So this box covers everything up, and we have battery. So a little bit of rail, old rail at the bottom. It'll look better when it's painted. Copper wire just to make some handles. Anyway, you sort of get the beginning of a Great Western sort of shunting truck. On for a bit more detailing and some paint. So a little bit of detailing on the box. Just little buttons. These pins with the bulbs in the end. Little rivet detail, little latch thing. Came out of scrap. I've shown you how I've done this before. Just take a little drill and then drill a little hole in there and just grab a regular pin. These are dressmaking pins. I don't know if you can see it, but I could pick them for the size of the heads. There's different size heads if you look around, so different rivet sizes. And actually I have to cut these because simple. Cut that, be careful when you're cutting them because things tend to fly. And then we'll do a couple while we're here, I think. And just stick them in the holes. And then a little bit of super glue. I've started buying the cheapest, smallest tubes of super glue I can find because I got fed up with the big bottles going hard, so it's easy just to throw away one. A little drop of super glue, let that dry, and we'll be in for paint. So a quick bit of primer and shaky camera. We've ended up with this. This is going to be weathered, obviously. Quick revolve around here. Lid's not quite as it should, but I think that'll hide all the electricals quite nicely in the little, oh, you have to excuse my great big hand of God. All the electrics all fit. Oh, I've left a pin. So to end on a slightly different note, and also because I was quite happy I'd done these actually, a naming ceremony. Staples, the little things around the edges of the staples, a couple of jump rings, you can buy those. I use staples to make the L's. The M and the Y are Slater's plastic card kits, and when all said and done, we end up with, oh, I'm shaking around a little bit, a name board. Molly, although it looks a bit more, I like Holly actually, bad painting. And bear with, as Miranda would say, that's gonna, actually I think I might hang them at the front. Hang at the front. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, tell your friends, and onward with Tippy Ashwood.